Howdy again, folks. This time we're looking at Battlefield 1's single-player campaign performance on the Radeon RX 550. Just like with the multiplayer, the RX 550 is best suited to about medium settings across the board, but with textures set to high, anti-aliasing set to TAA, and using SSAO as opposed to HBAO. In this configuration, expect about 45 FPS average. For many people, this is perfectly fine, and certainly playable while offering a good visual experience. 60 FPS feels a lot better than 45, however, and hitting the 60 FPS mark involves the same issue as in the multiplayer. Render resolution is the biggest factor in performance. Resolution scaling is our best friend in fine-tuning performance without messing with the other settings. Resolution scaling specifically targets the percentage of pixels to render in terms of height and width before upscaling to a final output resolution, in this case 1920 by 1080. I found 80% scaling to be optimal in achieving a general 60 FPS average using the presets I mentioned earlier. Internally, this is a resolution of 1536 by 864, and obviously the image detail will not be as good as an actual 1080p render, but it does afford us some of the headroom needed for a much smoother experience, which can be argued as more desirable. In concert with TAA, the image could appear a bit too soft or fuzzy, and perhaps a fallback to FXAA might be more your style. In some cases, 85% or even 90% scaling does the job in achieving 60 FPS. On the flip side, there are going to be times where lowering the scaling further is necessary. Battlefield 1 is a beautifully optimized game, but the RX 550 isn't up to snuff for true 1080p rendering unless you're fine with well under 60 FPS. For the sake of comparison, the console versions of Battlefield 1 use variable resolution scaling to maintain frame rate, meaning the RX 550 offers a very comparable experience, specifically against the Xbox One with its similar graphics horsepower. This is not bad for an $80 graphics card upgrade for a basic desktop PC, and as a PC player, I'm more than biased against consoles in the first place. In conclusion, for Battlefield 1 single player, the Radeon RX 550 gets the job done as long as you keep settings in check and use resolution scaling if 60 FPS is your thing. I wouldn't recommend any configuration that nears 30 FPS because the game gets very mouse laggy at lower frame rates. The higher, the better. Thanks for watching as always, and be sure to subscribe for more RX 550 videos. Hasta luego!